tell you guys, okay, if you don't already know this, I'm going to tell you right now. What Michael is telling you guys is gold. You got to understand fully understand what he's trying to tell you right now. Because there's a stat, and I don't remember, the stat that I had was old, because it was quite a few years ago. But in Toronto, just in the Toronto proper, okay, in TREB, TREBB in TREB, in the Toronto MLS system, there are, of all of the realtors, and legitimately thousands of realtors, I think it was 80,000, it was over 80,000, 87, last I checked last year. And you're right, that has dropped off a lot because the market, I mean, there's a saying out there, when the tide goes out, we see you swimming naked, right? So it's kind of like when the market kind of goes through this rinsing cycle, it really washes out people who shouldn't be in the market, not just realtors, but investors and all across the board, mortgage brokers and everything. So, but the thing is that even of those who have survived, of the ones that are still here, it is less than 5% of realtors just in TREB, okay? And this is pretty much the same. The stats are going to be a little bit different on other MLS boards, but roughly the same. It is less than 5% of the registered licensed realtors who do over 90% of the transactions. Think about that, guys. The reason why I wanted to emphasize what Michael is saying here is so that you understand that not all realtors are created equal, period. So it's really important. I mean, we're going to talk about, when I'm speaking, we're going to talk about vetting your joint venture partners, but you got to also vet all of the service people that you work with on your professional team, on your service team, and they have to understand exactly what it is that you want and where you're going, what your goals are in order to put you in the best situation. So what Michael is saying here is about one realtor, but there are thousands of realtors like that. And if you didn't catch it, what he said is you can go on MLS.com, look at what they have listed, see how many listings they have. If they don't have a lot of listings, really question how many transactions do they do a year? Are they investor friendly? Really ask those questions, because if you don't, that realtor is there's a saying in the realtor world, if you overlist initially, you'll undersell eventually. And so that's what happens with all of these kind of one-time, one-off realtors is, they kind of think, oh, we're going to get this. And they're just super optimistic. I don't think they try to hurt you. They just don't really know any better. And so anyway, that's kind of my rant. Sorry, Richard. What Michael was saying here is like on point. I just want to make sure everybody understands.